I'm Norman Osteen. I'm the coach and founder of Strong and Courageous Wrestling Club. It's based here in Harrisville, but I have kids all over Western North Carolina and upstate South Carolina.
Okay, and give me a little bit more information about the Strong and Courageous, exactly what it is.
Well, it's a wrestling club to help kids in wrestling, ages 4 through whatever. I've had grown men do it before, but it's a ministry also. I use it as a outlet to help kids pursue being a state champion or getting a college scholarship, but also as a tool to reach kids that maybe aren't going to church, or to help kids grow in their faith who are in church.
And how long have you been into wrestling? Has it been all your life or just recently?
Well, I wrestled here in high school when I was in high school, but wrestling's not really big in the South. It's not really good, and I'm speaking in general. That's not to say everybody's bad or all the coaches are not up to par, but it's just the weakest part of the country. So I didn't have a strong wrestling background, but I joined the Air Force and wrestled on the Air Force team, and then I wrestled when I was in college, and I learned from there, and it just grew and grew and grew, and I accidentally got into coaching, and then I thought it would be a good idea to create a club to help kids, the good kids, get together, and decided I want to make this a ministry to help kids for a whole more important reason than just wrestling.
And right now, how many students do you have in your club right now?
Well, it varies from year to year. We're just starting to gear back up for this year. I don't do anything much about mid-August through all of September, and then I start out slowly in October, and then it just explodes in November. But last year we had 138.
Oh, wow. And you guys compete nationally?
Nationally, and starting this weekend internationally.
Internationally.
We'll start wrestling internationally twice a year.
Tell me about that. Where are you going again?
Puerto Rico, San Juan. Salina actually is where we'll be wrestling. I coach in Puerto Rico some with the world team and Olympic teams, and through my connections there, they have a tournament down there called the Sparta Cup. It's an international tournament, and it's just a good opportunity for a high school kid to wrestle a kid from Cuba or Venezuela, or it's even. I expect it's even going to be better for them than going to a national tournament because it's international.
And how many people are going with you?
We're taking 44.
44. Wow, that's quite a bit. And you said that you do coaching for the Olympics. How did that work out? Or Olympic wrestling coach, I guess I should say.
Well, I've had 3 that have made Olympic teams, and I've helped try to develop Greco-Roman in Puerto Rico, which Puerto Rico is predominantly a freestyle country. They don't wrestle a whole lot of Greco, but I have an old wrestler in my club who is Puerto Rican. Is how it really got started. He went to Christ School here years ago, and just through him going back home and connections there, that's how that all came about.
And the training that you do, how does that work out? Like, how does your typical training do when people come into?
Well, I when I first started, I used to go everywhere. I used to go to Robbinsville. I used to go to Avery. And I don't do that anymore because I'm older, and I figure they can come to me easier and I can go to them. I used to go somewhere every night. I don't do that anymore. This year we're going to practice 2 nights a week at Elida Home, which is over Nashville, which is I'm kind of excited about because I think it's going to be helping some kids that need an outlet. And we're going to have 2 practices a week at Veritas Christian Academy, and we're going to have 1 practice a week at Polk County High School. My nephew is the coach at Polk County High School, and that's really the only high school that I'm going into now in coaching.
And any advice that you would give to anybody that high school kids or even college kids that might be interested in wanting to get into wrestling?
Well, my advice to a kid before he even gets into high school is wrestle in the off season and get around the best kids you can, because unfortunately I had a little spill last night talking to the kids, and I told them, if you wait until you're a sophomore or a junior, it's just about too late in the sport. Or it is in any sport, but in wrestling, being it's not strong here, you need to be around the best partners and the best instruction you can be, and develop good habits, because unfortunately where we live, kids get into wrestling. There are lots of numbers of kids that wrestle in middle school, and they develop horrible habits doing bad things, and it's hard to break them of those habits once they're instilled.
And the people that come to your club, about how long do they practice when they come in, on the day that they come in?
Well, I've got some. It varies widely. I've got I put them in 3 categories. I've got some that think they want to get serious, and they don't have the work ethic, and I see them once a month or maybe twice, and then they go away. I've got some that don't want to really, that come and they're just not willing to pay the price to get better, but they love going on trips, so they kind of cheat their way. And then I've got some hardcore. I've got kids every year now ranked nationally, and those kids can't get enough. I mean, they're just, I would say, if I have 100 kids a year, it's maybe, in a good year, it's 25 to 30% of them, but they are tough, and they want to get better, and they're hungry.
You do classes all year round, basically.
Except for about mid-August or September, and I'm probably going to change that this year. I think I'm going to go year round.
Is there anything else that you want to add that I haven't gotten into?
No, just that if there are some kids out there looking for an opportunity to wrestle, and they're not old enough, around here you have to be pretty much in 7th grade to wrestle, but in my club, they can be 4 years old and they come out. So they can, if they want to get in touch with us, we'll give them an opportunity to wrestle as much as they want to.
Okay.